Hello folks, this is Sullla once again. You're listening to another video for League of Legends. This is going to be a short video because this turned out to be kind of a short game, but it's been my first chance to play on the new desktop. I mean, actually playing a new game as opposed to just using the new desktop to do a replay. And I wanted to go ahead and use one of the videos that one of the games that I played on the new desktop. So this is a game where I'm playing as Support Lux. I did 4 games on this night and got support all 4 times, and then I actually got support a 5th time when I queued up, but I was just like, nah, I'm done tonight. So draft pick normal mode game, really favoring that support, even though I had support as my second option. But anyway, so this is a Support Lux game. I've been playing a lot of Lux since I came back to League of Legends. I'm really enjoying her right now, and this is a game where I played her as a support, and of course, since I'm putting it up on YouTube, it went rather well, so I'm going to use it as a chance to talk about Lux's gameplay, why she actually is a pretty solid support right now. She really wasn't, like, 5 years ago. She was a pretty bad support, but the game has changed and evolved, and she's quite playable right now as a support. So let me just go through the matchups real quick. We have, in this game, we have a top lane Lissandra on our team against a top lane Darius on the other team. We have Evelyn jungling for our team, and she's going to be starting blue, so we're going to give her a pull. By the way, at some point I'm going to have to do a video about Eve as well, because her kit is completely different now than it was in like 2013. On the other team, they have a jungle Soraka, so that's pretty troll. This is a normal draft pick mode game, not a ranked game. And this was actually a diamond player who is obviously screwing around in a normal game by playing jungle Soraka. Then we have a mid Zed against the other team's mid Katarina, and I am going to be playing alongside Lucian. It's going to be a Lux plus Lucian bottom lane against a Jinx plus Karma bottom lane on the other side. So let me talk just briefly a little bit about Lux. What makes her a good support? It's largely due to the fact that she has very good poke damage. That is kind of her specialty. She's one of a couple of different champs who specialize in that, but long range poke is what makes what kind of distinguishes Lux as a champion, and one of the reasons why she's actually fairly effective as a support. Her biggest downside is she has fairly high mana cost, so she runs herself out of mana pretty quickly, but like right there, I'm going to go ahead and use my pool to poke a little bit at the Jinx player, and we get roughly an even trade on that particular exchange, but we're going to get a much better trade right here in a second. So I toss out my pool and I hit both of them, and if you can see, I'm doing that at very long range. I think that that's at like, I don't know, like 700 range, which is quite long. So what do we have on Lux in terms of skills? Well, most people are probably, oh, and here I get an even better trade on the Karma player, as she just loses, you know, she's down to like half health right now, and she's having to burn through her her potion. Oh, by the way, what happened to the scoreboard? I must have turned it off somehow. Yeah, so she must be she had to burn through her first potion. Okay, so Lux, let me just run through what she does again. She is really no different than she was like in 2012 or whatever when she first came out. So people are generally pretty familiar with her, but her passive is that her skills, if you damage an enemy, she puts a little debuff on them, and if you auto attack, you use the debuff, and it deals extra magic damage. She has pretty good attack range, so it's generally not too hard to trigger this. But, you know, not a great passive, but it does add noticeably to her damage. So anytime you see the little light particles on an enemy champion, you do want to try to auto attack to get that extra damage. Okay, main reason why you're playing Lux as a support is to poke with this. This is her E, Lucent Singularity. Creates a zone that slows enemies, and after 5 seconds, the zone detonates to deal magic damage. You can trigger it early to deal the damage early. Has great range, and is really nice in terms of harassing enemies. You can stand back, you can toss it out from behind a minion wave. You don't have to like it's a skill shot that will go through minion waves. Both slows the enemy damage and deals good poke damage. So makes it easy for Lux to trigger her Spell Thief procs, like right there. That's on her Spell Thief's item. So very, very easy to get the 500 gold to transform that item and start getting free wards. So that's her her E. Goes really well along with her Q. That's me right there, tossing out a Q, which is her bind skill, which I'll talk more about in a second. So I bind Karma, then I toss a pool on top of it, and even though it wasn't a great trade, I actually took a fair amount of damage, and Karma actually shielded herself, and so she blocked some of the damage. It was significant enough that Karma now feels that she has to go back to base, and this would be significant, the fact that we're driving her out of lane this early. So that's good for us. Karma goes back to base, and now we have the 2v1 advantage. And as soon as we see that, we're going to look to try to zone Jinx off of this minion line as I stand there and get poked by Jinx's own long-range harass. But anyway, to go back to Lux's skills, light binding, this is her Q. fires a ball of light, roots up to 2 enemies. This one does not go through minions, as I poke Jinx right there. But it does root for 2 seconds, and that's quite nice. You only need 1 point in the skill to get the 2-second root. By the way, Lucian going in here, and I had thought he was going to play back because the minion wave had kind of gone back under the tower, but he gets Jinx down to like 30 health. So he flashes in, but a really nice use of the heal from Jinx. He's going to heal bait, and then Lucian's going to go in, but then Jinx flashes, and Lucian playing a little aggressive, and yeah, Karma's going to pick that off. So that was quite sad for me to see that. I was disappointed. This is one of those times where not being on voice chat really hurts. If I had known Lucian was going to go in there, I would have been up there with him. I could have ignited, we would have claimed the kill. And so we've handed back a lot of the advantage that we had in this lane with that death. And that was, you know, pretty sad. So partly that's on Lucian being over-aggressive, but that's also on me as a support. I was just playing a little bit far back now, partly, again, because I was low health. I was down on like 200 health or something. But if I had known he was going to go in there, I think we could have gotten that kill pretty easily with better play from me. I had both summoners up, so you know, if I had flashed in and E'd, I think we could have gotten that kill. So that's probably on me, probably as much or more than it was on Lucian. Anyway, just to wrap up with Lux's skills, so I mentioned she's got her pool on her E to poke at people. She's got her binding on Q, which is a great form of crowd control, and then she has a shield on E. You toss it out, it can shield multiple allied champions. Doesn't shield for a lot, but you know, it does help, and as she gets more AP, it becomes more significant. So watch right here, we're going to set up a new play. I am going to bind the Karma player, and then that's going to be enough to get us that kill. Let me go back and show that again, because this is one of my nicer plays in this game, and I want to highlight it. So I'm coming back from base. Their team doesn't know that I'm here. I'm going to drop a ward in the tri-brush, and then I see Karma coming forward, so I'm going to slow it down to half speed. There's the Q to get that binding. I'm going to toss out my E, and I'm actually going to ignite as well, and that's probably a needless ignite, but Karma did have flash, and getting that kill is significant enough that I do think it's worthwhile to use the Ignite just to make sure that we get that kill, that we don't lose it in some silly way, that she doesn't run away on, you know, 30 health. Like we just saw Jinx run away on 30 health. So now with that kill, we are really in business because it turns out that the minion wave was pushing towards us, and with us having the kill on Karma, and with the minion wave pushing towards us, we are able to zone Jinx off the minion line. She cannot come forward. She cannot farm. I mean, I guess she could, but it's very dangerous. All she can really do is use her rocket like that. The Jinx W Zap, I guess it's called. But that's about it. They don't have ward coverage in this brush. They did ward this brush, which was a smart move for them, but we are able to just farm this, keeps Jinx from being able to get much of anything, and they are now falling very, very far behind. You can see we have now a 30 CS lead here, and I'm going to toss out my E again, get that poke. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but it was enough to get Karma to eat that biscuit, so hey, better than nothing, right? So able to get a little damage right there. There's other stuff going on in the game, but I'm trying to keep the focus here on this lane. Like Eve is running around in there below. So I'll try to keep an eye on that, but mostly I want to watch this. So right there, I'm going to get my E onto the Jinx once again, and now that I'm level 5, I have 3 points in the skill up. Right here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get the root on Karma once again, E, and that's going to be enough to finish off. With Lucian, of course, chipping in, dashing in with his own, you know, what is this? What's his dash called? Relentless Pursuit, and then using his Piercing Light to get some extra damage right there. And now, meanwhile, over here, Zed is posturing around their blue buff. See, the problem when you take Soraka jungle as a troll jungler, you're not really able to push back against people invading. So now Jinx is in the uncomfortable position of having to farm under tower. Yeah, and Zed gets that kill. Having to farm under tower with the pool back here. I just tossed that back to make it harder for her to farm. Lucian's poking away at the tower, and right here, I'm going to hit the binding, and then I follow that up with an E, and then I use my ult, the Lux lasers. I actually didn't highlight that, but yeah, Lux's ult, Final Spark, deals pretty good damage. Deals, what, 300 base damage in a line, and enemy champions that die refund 30% of the cooldown. So that didn't happen there, but better than nothing. Oh, so let me go back, because I missed this because I was talking about the ult. So I don't kill Jinx here, but I get her really low enough that she has to base. She can't farm under the tower. And then for some inexplicable reason, Jinx decides to go into the jungle while Zed's invading, and yeah, guess what? Zed had a shadow there. So that's a really silly death, but even if Jinx had backs there, even if she had gone back to base, she would not have been able to farm these minions. So look, she's missing out on more waves of minions. She's now 40 minions behind in this lane, and we're going to get that second plate there under the tower. Now, with that said, we now have both Karma and Katarina coming in. The Katarina Mantra jump rope is going to come on me, and Katarina is then going to look to ult me, and she is going to claim that kill. Lucian is going to be able to escape out of this, though, so not great. I went back and watched this, and I'm not sure that I could have escaped that. In retrospect, I think Maybe I should have saved my flash for when Katarina engaged on me, but what I was trying to do is I was trying to flash to stop Karma from rooting me with her W. Is that what this one is? Yeah, with her W, because it would have rooted for me. But it might have been better off to save the flash until after I was rooted and then try to flash away when Katarina went in with her Death Lotus. So that might have been better. It was a little bit of a tricky situation. We saw them coming, but we were playing pretty far forward. So even with ward coverage, it was a little bit tough to get out of there. That said, even though I died, I was able to get Lucian out of there, so it wasn't the worst thing in the world. And the minion wave has just been in a terrible position for Jinx because she has not been able to farm the whole game, and that's exactly what we want. So we are in very comfortable shape right now, both in this lane and in the wider game overall, because you can see we're winning top lane, we're winning jungle, and we're winning mid as well. Katarina has like no farm. So Eve jungle is going to come over here and look to gank. She's going to hit the charm onto Karma. Karma's going to flash, and then Jinx is going to use heal to help get them out of there. So we're not going to get any kills, but we did just pop 2 summoners there, so kudos to our jungler. Nice job, Eve. And that's going to give us a big advantage in this lane. So remember, they are down 2 summoners right now in the bottom lane. And that's going to allow us to keep playing aggressively down here. So right now, I am going to toss in my E pool, and then Jinx flashes rather unnecessarily, I have to say. I don't think that Jinx really needed to flash that, but oh, okay. All 4 summoners now down in the bottom lane, whereas we still have 3 of our 4 summoners up. So we have a huge advantage in this lane. You know, beyond the fact that we're just ahead in farm, having all those summoners up is a really big deal. So poke, 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 hitting Karma underneath the tower. Lucian is going to go in. He's going to use the culling. He's going to get that kill. No wait, I actually get the kill. I had one of my pools tossed out down there. And I was lasering on top of that, but we actually got the kill fast enough we didn't even need the laser. Right there, another nice binding. I'm going to follow that up with another E for the slow, and just like that, poke, 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 Jinx is losing more health. And we're going to grab another one of the turret plates right there. So meanwhile, Eve is now going to come in behind the tower. I think Eve should have just waited the 5 seconds until we could have shoved up the minion wave, but she does manage to get the kill onto poor Jinx, who really had nowhere to go. Now she's going to go stealth, and actually does a nice job of juking here. Probably could have just walked out, but instead opted to go in and try to get the kill on Soraka. Let's see. I don't think she's going to get this. No, because Katarina's there. So, yeah, not going to be enough, unfortunately. So, I think Eve probably should have waited until we just shoved up the minion wave and got out of there on that. Meanwhile, I'm recalling here, and I was like, uh-oh, Katarina? Better not recall. That's not a safe recall. But fortunately, I'm going to be able to walk out, and it's going to be okay. And once again, Jinx is not able to do any farming because the minion wave is not back at her turret. So she continues to fall further and further down. Now 50 minion kills behind in lane, and this is just not the game that Jinx wanted. As I get in a little bit more poke, once again. Not anything too significant. Oh, I hold the minion wave there just for a little bit so it doesn't hit the tower. And now, once again, we were going to look to play aggressive, except we spotted Katarina on a ward. Wards win games. And because Kat is spending so much time out of lane, Zed's like, okay, well, I'll take your tower mid. If you're just not going to stay here, I'll take your tower. Meanwhile, we pick off another kill. Sorry, I missed that when I was watching that. So we see Katarina. As soon as she leaves, we're going to look to go ahead and play aggressive down here because she's going to have to go back mid since Zed is taking a tower. And this is strikingly similar to the same play we saw before. I catch the Karma in a binding. That sets up the Lux laser in the pool. Right here, I'm going to shield Lucian. We have vision in the brush because Lucian tossed in his, did a nice job of tossing down a trinket ward. And so right there, we're able to pick off that kill. We go 2 for 0, and let's face it, there's just not a lot Jinx can do. She's just too far behind right now. Lucian has already finished the Blade of the Ruined King, so he has both the attack damage, the attack speed, the lifesteal, and he can use that active to slow down the enemy champion. And Jinx is not really a great duelist anyway. Lucian's a better duelist, so yeah, just not much you can do. So while we take that tower in bottom lane, watch what's going on up here. Lissandra sticks around to try and finish off the turret when it's on like no health. She is on 80-something health right now. Oh, the Jinx rocket from downtown. So hey, Jinx, it was a rough game for you, but that was a rocket fired from base, and she managed to get that kill. Anyway, meanwhile, we also have our Zed and Eve players hanging around here, and unfortunately, Katarina is going to pick up that kill onto Eve, and now Zed really wants to finish off this kill, but oh no, the shuriken goes in the wrong direction, and now Darius is here, Soraka's here, and nope, 50 health, not enough to get that kill. So we actually did just give away a fair amount of our lead. I mean, we're still very far ahead. We're still 8,000 gold ahead. This is not a close game. But we did toss away a decent margin of our lead in this game by doing that. And it was at this point that I pinged the Infernal Drake, and I was like, hey guys, why don't we try going for the Infernal Drake? It's up. I think I just said Infernal Drake up, let's try to get it, something like that. And there it is, that's my ping right there. So, just a little bit about building Lux in terms of itemization. If you're playing her as a support, you of course need to start with the Spell Thieves. That's definitely the item you want. Oh, let me highlight it here. Get the Spell Thief to start, upgrade it to the Eye of Frost as soon as you can. You don't really need to upgrade it after that. You can just hold on the tier 2 item. That's kind of good enough. And then after that, just go into a normal Lux build, which pretty much means go into Luden's Echo and then into Morellonomicon, both of which are kind of like standard AP caster mid items. But like once you get that upgraded Spell Thieves, so you can start placing wards, you really don't need anything else. You can just go into AP at that point. And from there, you pretty much just play a standard Lux game, which is one of the things that's really nice about this. So here we are taking the Infernal Drake. I went back, picked up the Oracle's Lens, the sweeping trinket, and check to see they did not have any wards, so that's going to be an easy pickup of the Infernal Drake for us. Very nice of us to get the strongest dragon type right there at the beginning of the game. And meanwhile, now that is a support karma. That's not a mid lane karma, so we're looking to come in here. So Eve is going to run in. I don't think she's going to be able to hit the charm, but watch, I'm going to toss down another pool, and it just barely catches karma on the end of it, and I pick up another kill. I actually have 4 kills right now. Somewhat surprisingly, but I mean, it's not really bad to get kills on a support Lux because you get more AP. Meanwhile, here I make my worst play of the game. I know Katarina's over there. She dashes in after me though. Death Lotuses. She picks up the kill on me. Another amazing Jinx Rocket comes in, and that's enough to get the kill on Eve. So we go 1 for 2 there, which is not great. And that was a very needless death because I knew Katarina was there. I tossed down the ward, and then I like tried to hit an invisible binding, but she was able to just jump on me and engage. Why could she do that? Because she had vision from the minions over here. You know, and that's just a silly death because Katarina had she had 6 kills already coming into that. So really, really needless. And it was just something I could have avoided, which is unfortunate because that second death pretty much cost me from getting an S ranking in this game, unfortunately. Meanwhile, down here, Lucian continuing to push him bot. He has snowballed so far ahead, there's very, very little that the enemy team can do at this point. And we are now about 9,000 gold ahead with an Infernal Drake, so we are just sitting comfy at this point in time in the game. And we can really do pretty much anything we want. I think that the next thing to do would be to just, ward up their jungle, shove out the lanes, get pressure, look for opportunities to pick people off. But it turns out that it doesn't matter because they just surrendered at 16 minutes, and that made this an incredibly short game. One of the changes to League since I've come back is that if it is a 5-0 decision, you can surrender at 15 minutes instead of surrendering after 20. So yeah, I guess they wanted no more part of this. Granted, it wasn't close, but I would not give up a game this early. And it's a little disappointing because this night when I was playing, I actually had surrenders in all 4 of my games, and none of them made it past 25 minutes. And yeah, I mean, that's just kind of the way the game is right now in League. Most of the games are short, very, very short. Even without surrenders, most games seem to finish in less time than they used to. But anyway, so a little tidbit of a game right here. But I figured, hey, it was fun. I got a chance to play Lux a little bit. Was pretty happy with how this one went. And I figured, hey, let's just put it up on YouTube, right? Quick video, easy game, easy life, as they used to say. So anyway, once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys had a great weekend. And I'll see you again soon. Until then, take care.